Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Golf Lover UK, and for those with an untrained eye, you will realise that Luke is not Jay. He is not Pro Golf Critic. You don't look quite the same, do you?
We're slightly different. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pinpoint how, but yeah, we're slightly different.
He's 6'3".
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met Jay in face to face. Like I'd known him for 2 years. We'd done the podcast for like a year and a bit. My first time I ever met him was obviously when we met each other face to face. And I remember picking up from the train station going, "You're 6'3". I just had no idea. I had no idea he was going to be a giant. And he said, "Wait till you see my dad." And I played golf with him and his dad. His dad's like in his late 60s, early 70s, and his dad's like 6'7". It's like this is the world's biggest family.
The family's BFG.
Yeah, they're just. I think he said his brother's like the shortest of them, and he's like 6'2". It's mental. Like it's just the world's biggest family. Anyway, enough about Jay's huge family. Luke, great to have you with us. Do you want to tell people who you are, what you do, because you are all around golf, and you're a good golfer, but you're on a different side of it, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm the one who's behind the camera. So yeah, I'm a photographer, videographer, full-time freelance. Predominantly shooting golf. So I shoot for a lot of like golf brands. So I've shot for Adidas, Puma, TaylorMade. I used to work for Callaway, so I've shot with them. I shoot anything from social media stuff to brand campaigns. I was recently out shooting with Trendy Golf with Jay Lundeberg as well. That was up at Turnberry in Scotland.
Yeah,
which was
that looked really good.
Did
you get a chance to hit any balls up at Turnberry?
I played the 10th hole.
What a hole.
Yeah. I hadn't hit a golf shot for the whole couple of days we were there. Got on the first tee. I said to someone, I was like, "I'm nicking your driver." Hit a drive straight down the middle of the fairway. Thanks for coming. And then I had like a
baby fade.
Little baby fade.
You want straight down the middle, mate? I've seen you hit a ball.
It started down the water and cut back. It finished down the middle of the fairway. It's okay. Yeah, and then hit like a 2-iron just short of the green up and down the par. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I maintain, so I'm very lucky. I played loads of courses. We discussed I'm a golf whore, I'll go anywhere. I don't think there is a better 8 continuous holes than 4 through 12 at Turnberry in the world.
It's one of those golf courses that before I went there, so I've been there a few times beforehand. So I went there for an Adidas thing, but didn't play it. I went there for something else, but didn't play it. Whereas this time went again, didn't play it. But this is the first time actually going out on the golf course itself. And before actually going out on the golf course, everyone was obviously raving about it, saying how good this place was. And all I was thinking was, it can't be that good. Like, it can't be that great. And then I'm walking out on this fairway, walking out to our first shoot location was on the 14th tee or something like that. And I was just walking down.
Probably the least impressive of all outside of 2. Yeah, 14 might be one of the least impressive holes.
I think we shot on the other course. We shot on the other course though.
You started on Robert the Bruce the first day.
Yeah, so we shot on the 14th tee of the Robert the Bruce because from there
that's a great view from the 14th and Robert the Bruce. A fantastic view.
You can see the lighthouse in the background, right?
It looks over the top of 12, 11, and 10, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we started shooting there, and as I was just walking out, I was like, "This place is a joke." And then we ended up going. Then after that, we went on to the Elsa, and again, it was just even better. And now I don't want to spend $1,000 to go and play it, but I kind of do.
Right. If between you and I, we can't find someone to compass onto Turnberry, hey, if Donald Trump's watching or listening, or Donald Trump Jr., hook us up with the free round. I think you've got a few things going on with tariffs at the minute that he might be a bit busy.
We've just lost about half the viewers just from mentioning his name.
Oh, we don't have no, because we mainly talk live. We don't really have many listeners anyway. No, so today's show is a Masters preview, and I'm just going to catch up a bit about golf with you. Is good, but no, I'm sure we can get onto it. I had a friend who had a corporate there. He had a corporate at Turnberry. It was really cheap.
You proper turned on that one. So you're talking about the Masters, then you were like, "I've got a mate at a corporate membership there." I'm like, "What? Oh,
No, no,
sorry."
no. I was still thinking I would get on Turnberry. So I got made at a corporate at Turnberry, and he injured himself and stopped playing, so got rid of his corporate and then couldn't get it back.
Oh wow.
Just keep paying, mate. Just keep paying. Ignore the knee pain because I wanted to use it.
Talking about other golf courses, by any chance, did you buy merch from a random golf course recently that you played that you decided to wear just for this podcast?
Are you alluding to the fact that for 4 days straight I did nothing but put stuff on Instagram about Port Rush?
Something, yeah. I'm not sure you mentioned it enough, to be quite
No.
honest.
Some people in the darkest depths of the world don't know that I played Port Rush. Mate, it is the hardest golf course ever.
Those people exist. I want to
Yeah.
meet them because I want to shake their hand, not seeing that content because you've thrown it everywhere. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if you sponsored a post to try and get even more people to see it, just so they know that you played Port Rush.
I was very lucky. I got invited to go and play Port Rush and Castle Rock. Played Castle Rock the day before. Castle Rock. If anyone's going to Northern Ireland and goes, "Oh, I'm going to play Royal Portrush and a couple other courses," and they don't go literally 15 miles west down the road to go and play Castle Rock, they're crazy. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good that every year, like not knowing his older age, but Jack Nicklaus used to go and play it every year. His boy still goes and plays it every year. His boy comes at.
Never been to Ireland.
Well, I'd been to Southern, but I'd not been to Northern Ireland before. Really weird. Like in Northern Ireland, they refer to the UK as the mainland, which I suppose it kind of is, but they refer to it as the mainland all the time. But no, an amazing time. Castle Rock's amazing. I didn't get a chance to go and play it. Amazing links course. Shot 8 over, and I started double bogey. I was 5 over, double par bogey. I was 5 over through 4 and still shot 8 over. You know, and sometimes and I doubled the 17th. So to give you a guide of the rest of the holes, they were really good.
Yeah, love that.
Great goals. Port Rush, even worse, even better, but worse. I was level par through the first 5.
Strong.
6 might be a very tough hole. It's a par 3. It was 180 yards into the wind. I hit a 5-iron, which I carry about 205. Well, you can't help it. It's the fat behind me. It's the weight it's that weight transfer. If I transfer weight, mate, I'm hitting it hard. So, I trebled the 6th. I ended up in a little bit of gnarly grass, and it's already growing up. But Port Rush is how Shane Lowry shot 7 under. We played off the members' whites tees, which I think is it's only about 350 yards, 400 yards shorter than the pros tees are going to be. Maybe 450. So we're not talking a 1,000-yard difference. When we played it that day, they give you the yardage for the day. It was 750.
Yeah.
And it was sorry?
A good length.
Well, you think on the third hole, it's a par 3. I had 168 yards to the flag. I carry my wedge about 142, 143, and the guy I'm playing with, remember, said, what do you hit about 140-ish? Went, my wedge about 142, 143. He said, hit that. I went, it's 168. He went, trust me, he said, the wind doesn't quite feel the same here. And soon I was 1 yard from going off the back. So I'm hitting a wedge 170 yard carry because of the wind. And then I hit a driver on one hole. It was a drop par 4, 300 yards. I'm getting that every day of my life with the driver. I was 75 yards short. Like and he described it as a not too bad a day. It's a 2.5 club, 3 club wind everywhere. And then the 16th, like people see, I've got photos I'll put up because I haven't got them all up yet. Believe it or not, I've still got some not put up yet.
You got more content you're going to post?
Well, like, there's one photo which probably won't transfer very well in.
The last post will be because I'll mute your account until then.
I'm not going to do anything until they get to the Open and say this is what this hole looks like. This is what this hole looks like. But which hole was it? Hang on, give me 2 seconds. This is really enthralling for everybody who's listening.
Absolutely.
Where are we? Par 4.
Ireland's one of the places that I've always wanted to go to, and always wanted to play golf over there. Adair Manor's that's like top of my list to play over there because it's just obviously the UK's version of Augusta.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to look good on here, but you can see that. Okay, so the flag is there. This is
Just
the green. This is the
like
bunker to the this. That's the bunker to the left of the 14th green.
I can't
It's
make that out. It's too blown out. Green.
it's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. It's 35 foot below. So if you miss the green by a yard,
Yeah.
you're rolling into that bunker, and you've got 35 feet to get back up to the green. The flag is one of those extra long flags to let you know where it is,
Yeah.
and you're 12 yards from it distance wise and 35 feet up. I don't, if you miss, I don't know how people wouldn't, I don't know. Larry shot 7 under in the day. I don't know how anyone goes round there, no matter how good you are, and doesn't find trouble a couple of times. But that whoever wins the Open will be the person who doesn't find trouble. It won't necessarily be the person who gets 6 birdies in a round. It'll be the guy that doesn't make a double or a treble. That course is rock hard. But anyway, people have heard enough about it. You've heard enough about it. Should we talk about the Masters?
Shall we? Let's.
Is the Masters your favourite major?
It is the one that I would. I'm most likely to just sit and watch. Like in the last couple of years, I haven't managed to, because I've been obviously busy with work and stuff. But today I actually sat down and watched the start of the par 3 contest, like before we jumped on here, which was really nice. Like I was practicing today because I had my boss gave me a day off, aka I gave myself the day off.
I was about to say you work for yourself.
Asked my boss for the day off, and I said yes. And but I wanted to make sure I was back so I could actually watch a little bit of it, and then tomorrow I've got a shoot during the day, but I'll make sure I'm back to be able to watch it. So, but then I've actually got a tournament this weekend, so I'll probably miss most of it anyway.
Do you want to watch how I seamlessly get an ad read in?
So
I'm going to seamlessly get an ad read in. So obviously, you're playing that par 3 competition, you want to know exactly how far the flag is. So what you could do is go on to shotscope.com, buy something from there, and enter Golf Lover at checkout and get 15% off. You could do that.
That would be a genius idea to figure out your yardages onto a hole.
Yeah, shotscope.com, Golf Lover, all one word at checkout for 15% off. See, I don't do adverts like normal people. I like to have fun with them because that way people don't just skip twice to get through it.
And it also makes you look like a professional.
And also, if I say it again now, shotscope.com, Golf Lover at checkout, if they have skipped twice, they've just got the advert again. They just got to keep them guessing. The par 3 competition for me, I'm obviously I want to play Augusta more than I want to play the par 3. But if you only ever got a chance to play the par 3, you'd still be a happy man, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't say no, would you? To be honest, like if someone came up to me and said, "You can go to Augusta, we can't watch the tournament, but you can play the par 3 course," absolutely sign me up.
Oh, here's one. I asked it last year when we had about 800 listeners, not a couple of thousand. So try this one.
I'm going to say we had about 8 listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at about 2,500 now to the podcast, which is great. And depending on YouTube, sometimes it's our YouTube. We're not. It's just me and Jay and maybe Red talking, so it's not a big YouTube watch. It's like a loyal fan base, about 800 to about 1,200. But hey, we're just doing what we're doing and we enjoy it. Question is, you've got 2 options. You can play Augusta the full 18 with you and one friend once. Or you can play the par 3 with you and 3 mates. You get to play St Andrews with you and 3 mates. And you get to play Pebble Beach with you and 3 mates. So Augusta with you and one friend, or the other 3 and the par 3, but you get to take 3 mates with you. Money isn't an object. Someone's comping it all for you.
If I pick the Augusta one, can I pay to play the other ones?
No, you can never play them again. Never.
I'm playing Augusta.
See, do you know what? I just think for me...
You swear on this channel, on this page?
Yeah, mate, fucking too right.
Oh, fuck the friends. Like, I'm playing Augusta.
Yeah. We definitely swear. We're not prolific. We don't do it just for fun, but that was amusing, so it made good content. So you'd be now. what about Augusta? This is the qualifier, Augusta, but you can't choose the friend. You can give me a list of 8, and I choose which one it is.
You're saying that like I've got 8 friends.
Okay, 4 clients and 4 friends.
It's probably more 7 clients and 1 friend, but
Well, you got Emma.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Outside of Emma, have we got anyone else friend
Well,
wise?
I think she would kill me if I didn't take her.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't tell her that the Augusta is an option.
No, I wouldn't be
No.
able to.
Right. Well, I think that's what always amazed me. Virtually everyone chose play 18 at Augusta, apart
Yeah.
from me and 1 or 2 other people.
Do you know the reason why?
Go on.
So obviously Augusta, you're never gonna ever have a chance to play it, right? I've played St Andrews already. Highly underwhelming. All right.
Overrated. It's just 'cause it's the home of golf. Yeah.
Correct. Although I won't say no to playing it again.
Yeah. Anyone listening, Luke and I will go and play it.
I'm actually hopefully going up there this summer to play it. I've just slagged it right off, but I'm going to go and play it anyway. Pebble Beach, I'd love to play it, but I'm not going to lose sleep if I don't.
Yeah.
Whereas Augusta, I would lose sleep if I didn't play that, if I had the option.
My friend went over to play Pebble Beach in March. And have you ever seen those videos of people playing Pebble Beach? They paid £600 and it's £600 and it's windy and it's horrific. He played golf at Pebble Beach the day in between 2 horrific days. He played in like a
the calm between the storm.
Yeah, like 70-degree, slightly sunny, slightly breezy, like a 1.5, 2 club wind. He said everywhere. He said, but I had a cool breeze. He said it'd been bad the day before and it was bad the day after. And he was in the bar that night the night he got there, he was in the bar with someone who had played it that day, and he showed him a video. And on the 6th is a par 3? I think it's the 6th or 7th, the par 3, 7th.
Yeah.
And the guy showed him a video of them hitting, and he said that within a split second, the ball leaving the club face, you couldn't see anything. The rain was so bad. He said, like, he just felt so sorry for him. But you've got to go out. You paid £600,
Literally.
$800. You got to go.
Yeah. I have been to Pebble Beach, but I've not played it. I was ready to play it, but we decided against it in the end. But I would have loved to. I'd love to. It's another one I'd love to play, but I won't lose sleep if I didn't play it.
Yeah. Well, if you do get a chance to go and play Port Rush, maybe we'll go out there and play.
Have you played Port Rush?
No. Maybe I'm allowed to take a guest to me, so maybe you come over and we'll go and play it.
Yeah, sold. Done.
You've not been to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, exactly. And if you haven't played the golf course before, because I'm pretty sure you haven't mentioned it.
I would have put something out about it.
Yeah, you would have said something, wouldn't you? To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'd love to.
All the people that need to be grateful for that follow me on Instagram is that it wasn't in the 1 year when I went and joined one of these weird little golf societies and I played Sunningdale, both Walton Heath, both Swinley Forest, St George's Hill, all 3 colours of St George's. I had this year just Little Aston. I had this year just playing everything. I didn't take any photos, do any videos because I had no one to show it to. So just be lucky that my Instagram didn't exist at that point. So far, it's just been me walking with Bryson, me chatting with Phil. I love putting that stuff out there because it just winds people up.
Yeah, right.
It. Let's talk about the Masters. What's your oldest memory of the Masters?
Probably last year because my memory's horrendous. No, I'm joking. Probably. I mean, I think Tiger's chipping on 16 is probably my oldest memory, but I'm not. The thing is, it's one of those memories you don't know whether you actually remember the actual thing or whether you remember the video. You know what I mean?
I had no knowledge of golf as a kid. I knew it existed as a sport. My first ever golfing memory was Faldo winning the Masters. That was his second one.
So my favourite memory was the year of 2019.
Okay.
So obviously, Mr. Eldrick Tiger Woods won that, but I wasn't here to watch it when he won that. It was the first year that I hadn't watched it, and the reason why I hadn't watched it is because I was climbing Kilimanjaro. I was halfway up the mountain. I was in a tent. I just got phone signal on the Monday. First thing I did was call my mum. First thing I said was not hello. It was, who won the Masters?
She said Tiger, and you didn't believe her.
No, she was like, you don't want to know. And I was like, I do want to know. I need it. This has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I need something. And she was like, oh, Tiger won. And genuinely, a smile on my face. And all I said was, I hope you recorded it. And I came out, as soon as I got home, I watched it from start to finish, non-stop.
What do you make of him not going to the dinner? And like, I just think sometimes, like,
No.
I want to love him, but I feel he gets in his own way so much.
I'd love to know the reason behind it, like the actual reason behind it. I don't know. Obviously, media have got their own, have probably got their own take on it, but I'd love to know what the actual reason was.
There was actually I was surprised because normally the media defend Tiger all the time. There was actually quite a lot of the media attacking him, which was very new, and saying it was disrespectful, how it was a breaking tradition, how can he do this, that, and the other. I don't really have an opinion because I don't know what's going on. I lost my father, as you know, last year. In fact, you were with me when I got the phone call to say my dad had got 2 weeks left to live, weren't you?
I think I was.
Yeah, that was bizarre. You, Jay, and I in the live tent, and I got the phone call. So you got 2 weeks left to live. I'm like, look, it messes you up losing a parent. So maybe that have you lost a parent?
No, I've been very lucky.
So maybe that is still playing on his mind. I don't know, but anyway, look, if he is ill and something's wrong, I just hope he gets better because I think the sport is better when Tiger's around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one. I think the dinner's one of those where, cause obviously he's had so many, like, I don't know what's happened with him recently. If he's been like any more surgeries or something like that, or whether he might just be in too much pain to walk. That might potentially be what it is. You just don't know, because obviously the media are going to have their own. They're always going to have their own take on it because they'll do something to make a story. They'll be like, oh no, Tiger's not at the dinner. Let's make a story out of it. Perfect example was when I was out in when I was shooting out in Australia.
Of course, you went out with the PGA. You went out with the DP World Tour, didn't you?
No, I was out there with Golf Australia.
With Golf Australia.
And a few of the players were commenting on how soft the greens were and stuff like that. And the media span it to say that they were slating the golf course, saying saying that the golf course is an awful condition and stuff like that. I was like, the golf course is an unbelievable condition. I played it on the Monday, and it was a joke how good the place was.
Yeah, no one's actually saying the course is in good condition. Like, it's just the media spin at times can be.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you just never. I never watch the news as a whole because I don't trust what the media says. So
I tell you what, though, I have noticed is that the media obviously bought shares in Ozempic, as a lot of people lost a lot of weight in the last 6 months on Golf TV. There's a lot of trim faces knocking around. I don't think it's just hard work. Christ alive. My friend's doing Ozempic. He's lost a stone and a half in.
What is this?
That's that injection that stops you from eating and stuff.
That sounds like something I do not need.
You've not heard of Ozempic?
No, because I need to put on weight, let alone take it off.
So Ozempic is what loads of these celebrities are taking, loads of people are taking. It's an injection that suppresses your appetite. People lost a load of weight. And I was watching this on the golf coverage, and like a few of you have lost a lot of weight. So that injection's knocking around. But yeah,
sounds concerningly unhealthy.
Well, yeah, like concerningly unhealthy is my diet, but there we are. I'd say that I'm 4 pound heavier than I want to be, but it's playing on my mind massively now. Now we're getting into beach bod season, and I'm more beach ball season.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm 1.5 lighter than I want to be.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it. No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. Right, let's get into our picks. So as everyone can see, Jay's not here. So the picks we've got are, let me get the terms and conditions up for people. So the terms and conditions are, who's going to be your top PGA Tour player?
Mine?
No, I'm just saying for people saying what we're doing. Top PGA Tour player, your top live player, and your top other considerations. So they could be live, they could be PGA Tour, and it's someone that's maybe 35 to 1 over that, whatever it might be, an outsider, maybe someone hasn't done well before, maybe she hasn't done well of late. That's where we're going. So I've got Jay's here. So Jay's top live player. Let me find it. Jay's top live player is Bryson DeChambeau, which I don't find that to be any shock at all with Jay. I did think he might go with someone else, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Who's your top live player, and why?
So mine's Bryson, purely from the power standpoint. Done well in the past. He's going to come into it with full confidence after the US Open, and I just think he's as an all-round player. I think he's a phenomenal golfer. So his game is built for Augusta, in my opinion.
He sort of still has to deal with those past 68 comments, doesn't he? But at the time, people just wanted to criticise him, and I get what you're saying. He said, if I'm hitting it straight, it's a past 68 because I'm so long. He wasn't saying this course is so easy, it's a 68. What he's trying to say is if I can put it in the right places because of my distance, it's a past 68. And I
Exactly.
get
Exactly.
what are your concerns of Bryson's game for if he is going to win? Because obviously, I've said it before, I think if every player in the world's playing their absolute best game, I think he's the best player in the world. Bryson, sorry?
You think?
I think if everyone in the world's playing their A game, the best they can play, Bryson's the best player in the world. I think Bryson has little patches where his wedges disappear, and from 50 yards to 10 yards in, he will, instead of putting it to 12 feet or 20 feet, he'll put it to 32 foot. Yeah. And I think he goes through little patches, and I watched enough live to be able to give multiple examples of how many times that Bryson's been in really good positions, and he's in. You look at Doral last week, and Bryson was playing brilliantly, great first round, and then fell away a little bit in the other two, and obviously wasn't in contention on day three. I think that's Bryson's. He did have an issue with getting it every now and again pulling his long irons. That does seem to have disappeared a bit. So what are your concerns to where he might not do it?
So my head is, I think it's more the mental game.
Okay.
Rather than the actual physical game itself. I think and obviously he's a showman on the social media side, and with everything with all his YouTube stuff. And I think obviously it worked well at the US Open because he was playing up to the cameras and doing all that sort of thing. But I think it being at Augusta and how strict they are with rules and everything, I've just got a feeling that side of it might just kind of get to his head a little bit if it does. If he gets.
Do you not think it's really interesting? He's done virtually no social media the last 3 days.
Exactly.
He's put some stuff up that's obviously been pre-done, like a picture of the bag, a picture of this. He hasn't really put anything up, so I wonder if what you're saying he's aware of.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, my top live player is Waco Neiman.
Okay,
that's it. I've got it. It's the iron. It's the iron for me. I just think that Augusta. I think Augusta, maybe more than any course in the major circuit, is a second shot course.
Have you seen him hit in person?
Sorry?
You must have seen him.
I walked with him I walked inside the ropes with him for 9 holes in Jeddah. He won in Jeddah, mate.
His ball striking is unbelievable. He's got so much.
My back hurts watching his impact position though.
It's mad.
But yeah, that's what I've gone for him. I just think you look at Augusta and you look at the par 5 scoring, everyone scores well. It's the par 3 scoring and some of those sort of mid-distance par 4s where they hit their drive, depending what it is, their tee shot 280 to 325, and they've got 190 to 230 in. If you said to me 2 years ago who's the best at that, I would have gone Brooks Koepka. That 190 to 230, 170, sorry, let's say 170 to 230. I'd have picked Brooks Koepka, but for me now it's Waco Neiman. I just think it's a second shot course. Maybe I'm bonkers, but I think for me, That's why he's my favourite from Live to win.
Yeah, nice.
And I'll then do my PGA Tour player, and that's what I can't pick between two at the minute. But the two I've got at the minute are Justin Thomas and Morikawa. Again, it's that iron play, second shot course. Justin Thomas has been playing brilliantly of late.
I think out of those two, in my opinion, would be Morikawa.
It would be, but JT's been putting really well. He's played really well on the PGA Tour all season, isn't he? I think he's back up to 8th in the world or 9th in the world. I can't remember. Not that I believe in OWGR. It's bonkers. If you're going to try and tell me that Dustin Johnson's the 693rd best player in the world, you need to wobble your head a little bit. And that Sergio's ranked. Well, I think Sergio's ranked like 148th. It's like, it's just nuts. It just can't pay any attention to it. But yeah, I think for me, Morikawa or Justin Thomas, I can't quite choose, so I bet them both.
Nice.
Who'd you go for your PGA Tour player?
PGA Tour, I've done Oberg.
Oh, wow.
I know it's a boring answer. I know it was one of those. I was looking at it and I was like, who would I like to win? I'd obviously like Rory to win purely because I've got a bet with my brother. I think he will win it at some point. My brother thinks otherwise. So every single year I get a text of him saying, "Oh, I'm looking forward to that 20 quid." So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for something slightly different than Rory that everybody says, and go with Oberg purely because obviously rookie major this time last year and came second. I think it's going to go one of two ways. He's either going to come into it with full confidence, or he's going to come into it with unbelievable expectation.
Yeah.
If he comes into it with the expectation, then he's got the potential of missing the cut. Whereas if he comes into it with confidence, then he's got a chance of doing one better.
I like that. I like that a lot. I wonder at times with Oberg if there is if there's a mental issue there. He got across the line, as we know, earlier this season for that win at Torrey. Was it Torrey?
Not sure.
Wherever he got across the line and got a win, having had some sort of difficulties closing. I want to see him. I want to see him tough it out. That's one thing. Again,
he might hold a lead or come from behind.
Come from behind, maybe hold lead, maybe, but more that day 3, he's in one of the final 3 or 4 groups. There's 3 guys on 9, 10, and 11 under, and he doesn't let it slip to come in 7 under. Like just when it's getting tough, that he's part of that, and he's not worried about being part of that.
That actually links into my next one.
Oh, well, I'm going to go for Justin Thomas because I've just looked at it as mine, not Morikawa. I've gone off screen, everybody. And Jay has gone for Morikawa, and again, he's the ball striking. So we've got, as a recap, top live players: Bryson for Jay, Bryson for you, Neiman for me, Morikawa for Jay, Oberg for you, and Justin Thomas for me. All of those players are elite ball strikers. Everyone's an elite ball striker, but it's distance and irons is what we've chosen there. So Jay's unlikely winner is Wacko Neiman, who I've picked as a winner. But his point is he's never top 10 in a major. There's constant pressure around him. He plays on live, doesn't take it serious. All that nonsense we hear every week from morons. You've been and seen live. At what point when we were on the range, walking around on the range, watching those guys play and talking to them and walking inside the ropes to them, did you feel they were not taking you seriously?
When you hit a golf ball?
When I hit a golf ball.
On the range?
Yeah, when I hit a golf ball on the range, that was it was quite funny because it was me, Wade Ormsby and Ben Campbell were just striping balls together. I say striping. I wasn't hitting it badly.
You weren't hitting it badly.
No. I'll take that. I'll take being on a range with pros and not looking dreadful. That's like saying I was taking free kicks to David Beckham and I was at least putting it on target. Like, I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah, before we dive into that, what do you make of people say, "Oh, they're not taking it seriously"? Those that are playing on Live, what do you make of that nonsense?
I mean, they clearly are when they're there on the range. They're obviously working on their game and their work. But if I was to say one big difference between the range on a DP World Tour event and the range on a Live event, the Live range is a hell of a lot more chilled, in my opinion. So the guys are there's a lot more like laughing and joking on the Live range, but they are also still grinding hard on their game. Every single one of them has got a launch monitor. Every single one of them is looking at numbers constantly on every shot they hit. They are still working on their game. I wouldn't say they're
So I've got a theory on this, right? So I've been to a couple of DP World Tour events around the UK, and the last one I went to was at the Belfry. And one of the differences between the Belfry and a DP World event versus Live is that the DP World Tour, they're all on the range at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for Live, you've got all 54 of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
The music is on, it's packed, they're on there for like an hour. That is a different element to it, isn't it? I wonder if that plays into that.
Absolutely. One thing I found, I actually say this to people as well. I would rather go and watch a Live event in person, because one, it is a lot more chilled. 2, there's music playing, which keeps my attention span, and 3, it doesn't last the whole day.
Got to massage mine on your ADHD, haven't we? Somehow.
100%. But then on the other hand, if I'm watching it on TV, I'd rather watch a DP World Tour event or a PGA Tour event personally. So like in person, I'd watch a Live event. On TV, I'd rather watch a DP World Tour event or a PGA Tour event.
Okay, I get that. The reason I like Live, because I still watch DP World Tour and I still watch PGA Tour. I just watch. The name is Golf Lover. I watch all of golf. I love golf.
Do you love golf by any chance?
Apparently, I do. I played Port Rush as well a couple of weeks ago.
Fuck, you haven't mentioned it.
Right. who is your you can. I've got 2 surprise players. I'm not going to narrow it
as well.
Sorry.
I also have 2 for this one because
That's
I couldn't.
Okay. Go on. So I'll give you Jay's first. Jay. Oh, I've done it. Jay's was Wacko Neiman. So who are your 2?
So I did 1 from Live, 1 from PGA.
Ooh, spicy. Because I've done the same.
So my Live one is Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah. Oh, is that outsider? He finished 8th last year, didn't he?
He's 50-1.
He's 50-1. Is he 50-1?
He's 50-1.
All right. Okay, you can have that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 50-1. He's like unbelievable wedge player. Unbelievable.
Hang on. Let's get Sky Bet. Let's get a Sky Bet out. There we go. That's that placed.
Done. Unbelievable wedge player. Unbelievable iron player. Everyone slates his mental game, but I think he's one of the strongest mentally because he's just sarcastic 90%, 99% of the time.
I walked past him. I know you just come off the range. And I said, "How are you going to a good range test?" He went, "Nope, absolute shite." Just like brilliant, love it.
I mean, but he's saying that and still can go and win
because he doesn't mean it was shite. What he meant was it was still really good, but the odd bad one, he's just got to go and work on something when he's playing. Like it's just
so people like. I've got a great story with him because I was at a shoot. We're talking years ago now, and he was there. It was one of those where he's there because of a sponsor. He has to be there. He doesn't have a choice, right? But he rocked up, and he was in very good spirits, right? He rocked up, and we were just basically telling him what to do so he could get in and go effectively. And he respected that. He liked it because then at the end he came and sat down and had food with us. And he was saying to me, well, not just to me, to the table. He was like, "I went to an event a while back, and at the end of it, they were like, 'Oh, thanks so much for coming. Like, we really appreciate it.'" And he was like, "I just turned around to him and was like, 'Well, I didn't have a choice, did I?'" It's like, it's just a perfect, like, it's just him to a T. Like, he's not being a dick. he's just being sarcastic and being himself. Like he's having
Yeah.
a laugh.
He's not actually being horrible. He's just taking a
No,
mick out of the situation.
he's actually a really nice guy, but
Yeah.
people just misread it because
And
they can't.
I don't mind him blowing off a bit of steam. What's interesting is when certain players blow off steam, the media like, oh, it's so emotional. There's so much going on. When he blows off steam, they've chosen to go, oh, you're not allowed to blow off steam, and we're going to complain about it.
Yes.
Right. So Tyrrell Hatton's your first one, and who's your PGA Tour one?
Okay, this one isn't quite as much of an outsider in terms of odds, but it's a guy who isn't. I don't think he's ever been up there.
Yeah.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, but he's never really cashed in on the talent, has he?
No, but this comes back to the confidence side and trying to get it over the line that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because he is another one of those guys that when he gets in that contention, he does get a bit. He looks like he gets a little bit on the nervous side because he starts like drifting off a little bit when he needs to like push the pedal down a little bit more. So I think if he can keep that pedal down and keep pushing, I think he is one of those that has got a very, very good chance.
Okay, I like it. My live player, I'm not saying to win. I'm saying for a top 10 is Charles Schwartzel.
Okay.
Charles has been playing better this year on live. He came second or third, second I think last week at Doral. My range gone blank. He led the field in putting, was second in fairways and regulation, and was putting really well. Now, if you want to do two things really well around Augusta, find fairways and putt well. They're two really good things to do.
Yeah.
So, what is Charles Schwartzel now? Live odds, not sponsored by Sky Bet. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? No, we can't have a betting sponsor. It's against our morality. Apparently, we got to be careful with these things. However, drink sponsors, I'll have loads of them.
Absolutely.
What's Charles Schwartzel?
I'll take camera sponsorships or anything if there's
just who would you like to sponsor you? Just say now, just in case anyone's listening.
Available and they fancy sponsoring me as a videographer and photographer, I'll absolutely take it and I won't say no.
Charles Schwartzel is 200 to 1 to win. And what is he? I said top 10. What's Charles Schwartzel to top 10? 20 to 1. Look, it's an 80-man field as well, mind. It's not like asking someone to top 10 in 100 in a PGA Tour 130-man field. It's an 80-man field, and that's top 10 including ties, 20 to 1. Yeah, so that's where I am with that. And then my PGA Tour player, I was stuck between two players, and I think if Jay was on here, he'd go absolutely mental. I'm going to pick this person because it's one of Jay's least favourite people. But I was going to pick Daniel Berger, but I'm actually going to go for Billy Horschel.
Okay.
Billy's played pretty well all year, had some good results.
Didn't he get a hole-in-one on the par 3 contest earlier as well?
Did he?
I think so.
He's a grinder, and I think having a bit of grind about you around Augusta is really good. He's been around here half a dozen times, if not more.
As in your house or Augusta?
Augusta. I'm actually. This be funny for my cousins because I'm recording this in my uncle's house. I'm with my uncle, and obviously they'll be like, "Why is my uncle's office in the background of this video?" And when I clip it up for social, yeah, I think Billy's a good shout. Now I've got a question that I want to ask you about golf politics.
Okay.
You're Jay Monahan today. Do you want the winner of the Masters to be a live player or a PGA Tour player that's once been offered money by live? And the thinking being, if you've won the Masters, you know you've got your major access sewn up for 5 years. So when a lot of players said they didn't go to live, it was because of major access. So do you want one of your players to win it, who could then potentially be like Fleetwood or Lowry, Christ, like they're primed to go to live if they had like Lowry's obviously his major access obviously got the Open, but after this year Lowry's done for major access. Obviously top 50 in the world, whatever. I mean as in because of a major. what do you think? What would you want if you're Jay Monahan? Do you want the opposition to win, or do you want?
If I'm Jay, I'd want a PGA Tour player to win.
What then about Liv come knocking and hey Tommy is 80 million and you've got your major access locked up. What's to stop? Tommy's only earned 25 million on tour.
Yeah.
Here's 80 million for a 4-year contract plus winnings, and you're in the majors for 5 years. Do you think that would play on his mind or not?
No, I don't think so. I think he's got. I think in my head, he's probably got a plan behind him anyway. That he knows what he's doing.
Hang on. You think Jay Monahan knows what he's doing?
He'll have some sort of plan in his head. Whether it goes to plan or not is
okay.
Sorry.
He's got a plan. It might not be a good one.
Something going on in his head. Whether it's whether it's a monkey with cymbals, I don't know. But there'll be something going on in that head.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it feels like we've covered it because we've done the Masters. We've done a little bit about who you are. Have you got anything cool coming up? So I was weirdly when you were out shooting with Trendy and Lundberg, I was actually at the Trendy store doing some stuff then. Yeah, I did a little preview of the shot. I met Ian, the manager, and not lovely bloke. And I got a couple of pairs of G4s. What the store is insane.
Nice, isn't it? It's very nice down there.
Is it
down there?
It's a wine bar. It's a wine bar with golf gear.
That's literally it. They had, what event was I there for?
It reminded me. Oh, what's the film? Oh, you tell me. You say what you were there for, and I'm gonna find the name of the film. Hang on, go on.
I was there for the Adidas Originals event that they put on. It was one of those where I was. So that day, I think that was on a Thursday. I had a shoot in the New Forest in the morning. I finished that at 11 o'clock. I then had a shoot at Fox Hills at 1 o'clock. Finished that at 5 o'clock. I then had to get into London to go to this event. I didn't get to the event till 8 o'clock. Turns out the event finished at 9. So I was only at the event for an hour, and then went back home and got home at about midnight.
And your camera had no battery.
No, I wasn't shooting the event. I was going to the event as a punter, but it was one of those where it was just nice to put the camera away and just be a punter for a bit.
Anyone that loves films will have hopefully seen the film Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell and Emma Stone. Do you remember the bar they're in where Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling start talking to ladies?
I think so, yeah.
It reminds me of Trendy Golf when you go through there with like those nice wooden tones.
Yes.
It's like, oh Christ, this is like Crazy Stupid Love, but with a load of Malbon gear. That Malbon gear is so cool. We had Stephen Malbon on the podcast. It was amazing. Like anyone that's not listened to it, go and have a listen to it. The reason is Stephen Malbon, I'm going to say about 15 minutes in, maybe 12 minutes in, gives like an 8-minute answer. And I asked him, what goes into consideration when you're designing something? And he gave maybe a 10, 15-minute answer on his mind. Mate, it is insight into the genius and creativity of someone that's just a pure savant. It's absolutely amazing on how he designs, how he's always like 2 years ahead. And like one of his clothing lines, he's one of the Malbon golf lines. He's done it based on his love of mushroom foraging, and like on the tones, like and a line called "Hand of the Artist." It's really, really good.
That's cool.
Such a different podcast guest for us to get on, and like loved it. But yeah, that Malbon gears. Is it too cool? Is it too cool for me?
Do you want, what sort of answer are you hoping for?
Mate, I'll take an honest answer. I'm 42.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes, it is too. It is too cool for me. Right. How's your game, by the way? You said you got a competition. You got a tournament next week.
Yeah. So as in like on Friday.
Okay.
So I've got
last tournament you had was at Walton Heath where we were talking about that, and you were second. You were second after day one, and then absolutely nowhere day two.
I genuinely can't remember, to be honest. I know I was doing all right. But yeah, so this week I've got Hampshire Salver, which is at Blackmore. First round is the Blackmore salver or something like that, and then the second day, which is so it's 72 holes over 2 days.
What's your home club?
Hockley in Winchester.
Oh, okay.
So we've got 36 holes on Friday, which is the Blackmore Salver, I think it's called. And then you've got 36 on the Saturday, which is the Selborne Salver, which I actually won in 2022. And then it goes together as a 72 hole event, which is the Hampshire Salver, which is a world ranking event, which I came tied third in 2022, I think.
See, the thing is, what I love about you is everyone just thinks you love golf and that you film it and that's what you do. They don't realise you're an absolute stick. What's so funny is when I watch you swing, and you've been hitting clubs up at Live, and when I've played with Flushing it, you and Tom are both the same. You both weigh 2 stone, and you both are hit it annoyingly pure. It's just like
you look at me and you be like, "Oh, Matt Wolf's back."
Right. Well, let's say goodbye to everyone. Let's go and watch the rest of that par 3 competition. And thank you for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers, mate.